Hello there everybody, and welcome back to another live stream of Planet Zoo. I hope you all can hear me. I hope everything is going very well on your sides. This side it is freezing, which is why I've got my Ravenclaw beanie on today, because everybody needs to keep their heads warm on cold days like it is over here. And of course we are joined by Nick, which is just opposite the table from me. And she is also in the chat. So hello everybody and welcome to our stream. Now I am just going to show you guys briefly what I have been up to, because things have changed a little bit. As you can see here, I have been busy just getting a bit of an entrance going here with a bit of a welcome to, and this zoo is called Small Beginnings. I'm still going to make a little custom sign there, but for now I've got a placeholder over there. We've got the staff, well, village basically over there, and trying to hide it a little bit. Not really successfully here, but anyway, we get to that later on. And we've got a little meerkat statue, because our meerkats over here are doing extremely well in this enclosure. Unfortunately, we have lost one of our... Well, we haven't lost him. We have lost one of our warthogs. He unfortunately has passed away. And he has already gotten his little commemorative plaque over there. The Chenzira, one of the males. I think that was the new one we got. And unfortunately, he has passed away in the meantime, while I was busy building everything over here. Hello there, Ozzy. Welcome to the chat as well. Hope things are going well on your side too. And you can see here I've also started to fill in a few of the gaps that we have in the zoo, because if you actually go to a zoo, you'll very rarely actually find gaps. There are plants and animals and stuff pushed or placed everywhere where there is a gap. Also have a little bit of a rock formation over here with a little garden in front here to try and hide the staff village at the back there from the visitors who come along here, so that they can then walk along here and have a look at the big ass ugly building over there. We also have right over here a bit of a shelter environment for the red-crowned cranes. I've been busy building a bit of a temple ruin over there as well, just so that they finally can stop complaining about not having any shelter whatsoever. They can now still complain about enrichment or lack thereof, but at least in terms of hard shelter, they have most of the hard shelter that they need. The gharials over here are still going on quite well. Oh, even the crane's about to have a baby. We'll get to that one in a moment. Okay, we're going to come and visit you and your baby in a moment. May as well unpause. Let's just go back here. The gharials, they are doing extremely well. The babies are getting quite old now, 3.1 years old. Surely they should almost be reaching maturity. Let's just quickly check whether the Zoopedia here says what age. Age of sexual maturity. Oh, 14 years. Oh, we still have a long time to go with the gharials in our enclosure here. But anyway, everything's going well on that side. Our butterfly, our butterfly park over here is also doing quite well. I have continued expanding that, or building on that as well. Which one is this? This one is the Menelaus blue morpho. These butterflies have a nice little South American themed enclosure. And then we go for the European peacocks, I believe we have. No, this is the Old World Swallowtail. The Old World Swallowtail. They occur in England, well, in Europe and America, Asia, well, Northern Hemisphere basically, in quite a wide distribution range. And as a result, I've gone for a bit more of an English cottage garden, more structured, with a little bit of Stonehenge thrown in there as well in their look. And then we have the barren wasteland. That is the third enclosure that we'll still need to work on. Something I'm also working on, I don't think you guys have seen Welcome to the Bear Cave before, but I have built this little bit over here just to make it look nice. When people come in to look and to shop over here, at least they have a relatively nice enclosure. But speaking of caves, that brings us right over here. And there's been a bit of a development. I have decided what I want to put in this enclosure over here, and in actual fact that is the creature whose eye was in the post that I made this morning, and we are going to be putting it in this enclosure over here. Bit more of a South American feel to it, but we'll get to it in a moment. What I also want to show you, and this is unfortunately still under construction, it takes such a long time to try and do this, but what we do have over here is going down into the caves over here with a very broad smiling janitor over there, or cleaner, and another visitor that's walking around here. Hello there. You can hear them. There they are. We have some Egyptian fruit bats which are hanging around on the ceiling here. Oh, that's blinding. But anyway, they are our fruit bats, and they will be flying around in this enclosure here. In theory, it is actually closed off, but I still have to finish building all those little sections over there. But just wanted to show you a little bit of what I have been busy with off screen. And then we can finally get up. Okay, there we go. Right. So, let's have a look and see. Oh yes, one last thing. I am going to also include in this little section over here, well, an organism that is known or often called the world's most dangerous bird. So stay tuned to see what on earth I'm going to put in this enclosure over there. Okay, so let us quickly go have a look, because the cranes were apparently about to have babies. Oh, there it is. Oh, look at little fluff ball. So crane babies are what we call precocial, meaning that shortly after birth, they can pretty much run around and find their own food and follow their parents around. Of course, they can't fly yet. I mean, with these little itty-bitty chicken wings over there, they definitely can't fly yet. They still have to develop their full-on feathers like these ones. But they have got their downy feathers, downy plumage over there, and they're quite agile on land as well. And they will be running around with their parents, usually 1 or 2 offspring per pair, and they will be taking quite good care of those young ones, trying to defend it against predators and all those things. Now, these little guys unfortunately are complaining about a lack of enrichment, so we're just going to quickly put in something for them so they can stop complaining about that and they can be happy in their little enclosure over here. We are going to... Oh, forage pool is a little bit too big, but we're going to put in, as we had with the peafowl, we're going to put in a little mirror mobile over there. Oh, unfortunately, we don't really have space at the moment for the forage pool. We'll try and put that in somewhere. No, it's too big to go in there. Anyway, apparently it can levitate over here. Maybe it should go over here. There. Okay. No, that is disgusting. Okay, anyway. For food, that is the only thing. Okay, toys. Let's put in a sprinkler system and get that off. Okay. Put in the sprinkler system right over there. That should keep them relatively happy. Okay. Right. So, let's have a look here. The penguins, of course, are also carrying on, and they also have a whole lot of babies over here. We're going to have to keep an eye on them to make sure they don't actually have inbreeding happening. As we have with all of the animals, we constantly have to keep an eye on them. Oh, there's a... I just removed that quest. There was a quest to actually release 5 meerkats into the wild, and I'm pretty sure we already have 5 that are ready to be released into the wild. But let us start with this enclosure over here. So the first thing I'm going to do is to just make a nice little section where people can actually view the animals. And we're going to just have that over there. Nice little circular environment, circular area there, and then join in like that. Why on earth is it always like that? Do not flatten terrain for me, just make a little bridge-like structure. There we go. Okay, right. Now, I want the animals to actually come into this area, or around actually, not into the area. I don't want them actually attacking the people, but I also don't want them escaping. So, in order to make this look nice, I am just going to expand it a little bit more. I think it needs to be a little bit larger for these creatures. Of these birds, because I have said they are the world's most dangerous birds, so you already know there are birds that we're going to be looking at here. And we are just going to have that. And then we are also going to, before we do anything else, put in the habitat gate so that we know that bit is sorted as well. Okay. So, Ozzy, how are things going on your side? You have been quite busy, I assume, with all the animals that you've got to look at and maintain. And what are you busy with at the moment? Let's carry on here. We're just going to... Actually, I think I'm going to have this as a different little fence line, and then I'm going to just replace it with a null barrier when the time comes. For now, we are just going to get this all sorted. Right, expand the habitat, I think, to this side. And then we can just wrap it around here. And if we then put that there, that should work. Now, I think we can curve this around a bit. Because I think this section we may need to do a wall with windows. We'll have a look. We'll see in a moment whether that is how it's going to work. No, I did not want to do that. I wanted to move this thing here. There we go. Okay. Right, like that. Yeah, actually, I think like this. And then we can... Come on. Oh, word, I'm misclicking constantly. Right. And then like that. Okay, right, so that is more or less the size of the exhibit. That is a total of 1,600 square meters. That is more than adequate, I believe, for the creature that we are going to have. We are going to need a bit of a rise or a higher lying area. So that's going to be at the back here. Something along those lines. And that means we can actually technically remove this section for now. Oh my word, it's just constant back and forth here. Getting everything sorted. Right, like that. And then we're going back to terrain here. Getting everything nicely done there. Basically, in essence, we want this area nice and tall. We do not want the creatures to actually walk out there. Almost said what I'm going to put in here. Do not want the creatures walking out of the exhibit here, so we're just making it like that. Oh, Bertha. Okay, well, Bertha is taking one last poop. And then Bertha, unfortunately, is going to pass away. Oh. Okay, so that, of course, means Bertha gets a plaque up on the wall as well. Probably one of our oldest meerkats that we had. But where is the wall? It's on this side, isn't it? Yeah, the remembrance wall. So Bertha. Just putting another little plaque up here. We're just putting in Bertha. And I think Bertha was 14 point something years old. Now I've lost. Where is Bertha? Bertha. Shame. Well, it's already said she's already died, but she isn't dead yet. 14.6. Okay. Age. 14.6. Died on. It is the 11th of the 1st of year number 20. Shame. Okay. Old age. Okay. That is going to be... Alright, shame. Okay, so Bertha, we will call you a vet. Call vet. And unfortunately, Bertha is going to pass away. Oh. Sleep well, Bertha. Okay. That's a quick boxing over there. Anyway, what I was still busy with here is right over here. we need some kind of rainforest environment. That is what we are going for here. So we're just going to raise another little section over here. We're going to make a little bit of a waterfall. That's what it's supposed to look like. Currently it looks like a frog head. Of course, with this being a zoo, you would have some kind of pump that can actually pump water in here. We don't have to worry about it looking natural or anything along those lines. Construction, I believe it is. Special effects. Waterfall. Okay. Now, we need to face it the right way. Something along those lines. That could potentially work. Okay, doesn't look like much at the moment, but we're going to make it work. We're also going to make this a nice little pool. Deep pool for the creatures to look at. We're going to make this less severe. Less intense. Okay. Yeah, I love a rainforest scene, so this is going to be quite nice to actually have. Just going to put in a nice little river, a little stream over here. The creatures we are going to be putting in here do like water. And they sometimes even go into mangrove environments, mangrove forests. Let's just smooth this a little bit again. It can look nice. Then we can put in the water and it's going to look marvelous. I hope it looks marvelous. We'll see in a moment whether it does. Okay. That's too shallow. That's going to look quite good. Okay. So a little bit of a shallow area there, but that's alright. It means that the animals can cross quite easily and the keepers could potentially also cross if they really had to. We are going to also put in some plants and rocks and stuff there to hide it a little bit. Okay. Painting it. We need some rocks on here. So that at least looks like it is mountainous. We're going to put some soil on the rocks. And then we're going to just put some short grasses there. Okay, let us go and put in some plants. Now, where we need Australia. So we're going to go for Oceania. That's perfect because we're going to Papua New Guinea. I always pronounce it Papua New Guinea, but I think it's Papua New Guinea. We're going to Papua New Guinea and Australia. That is where we are going. So that's over there. Biome-wise, we are going more for a tropical, perhaps a bit of aquatic as well. Alright, so yeah, puff adders also have had some babies. This is now the second animal that we have from Australia. Okay, right over there. That should be perfect. Okay, so let's go put in some rocks here. Love having... In this case, I want mossy-ish rocks. We've got mossy rocks there, okay. Mossy rock, I need a nice big one, there we go. Perfect. I like the mossy rocks because with a waterfall like this, you are most certainly going to have a lot of moisture and mosses. Oh boy, mosses love moisture. So we are just going to put in a whole bunch of moss-covered rocks. Also just going to twist this a little bit. And then just put it in more. And bring it up slightly to hide that section of the waterfall. That should be fine. And then we're just going to put in a little rock like this. Just hide it a little bit in there. Perfect. Okay, the penguins are mating again. They're going to really keep on making offspring for us, which is great. Eventually we'll be able to release some into breeding colonies in the wild here. Right, nice little rock here. The past few days it has been extremely rainy here where I am. We had quite a lot of rain in the mountain areas here. We've had about 70 millimeters of rain, which amounts to about 30 inches of rain in the past two and a half days. So yeah, very wet over here at the moment. Just putting in some more rocks. Just covering the majority of this waterfall area here. And... oh, that is a big rock. That's too big. I think that is a little bit too big, but that will look perfect. And then this one. Actually look quite good. perhaps twist it more that way around and lowered a little bit as well. Okay, hey Hans, welcome to the chat. Yeah, I do. I really do want to play Dinkum. I would be lying if I said I didn't want to play Dinkum any point in time in the day. This earlier today, Nick and I and my sister-in-law, Nick's sister, we all played a bit of Dinkum, which was quite fun. Did we play? Yeah, we did play Dinkum. Yeah, and we played Torchlight as well. But we started out with Dinkum because Dinkum is a lot of fun. And this bird that we're going to be putting into this enclosure over here is definitely one of my favorites. There are actually 4 species of this related bird, and it is, in fact, in Dinkum as well. So we're putting a little creature from Dinkum into our enclosure over here. Let's put this rock as a bit more of a shallow crossing. Kind of like that over there, just a little bit of a mossy rock. We can have the water kind of splashing around over there. We'll see whether we can do that. Whether we can make it look nice. Now, some plants, some trees. We need a lot of things to actually hide this wall. We don't want any wall in this area, not even over here. So we are going to have our work cut out for us there. First of all, we are going to be putting in a nice little eucalyptus because these birds will be loving the eucalyptus forest. And as far as I know, a lot of these trees, if you put them in, the animals can't escape from your little enclosure. So we're just going to put in another little tree because, as Bob Ross would say, every tree needs a friend. So we're just going to put that there, make it look nice. We want a jungly feel to this habitat. I need to bring the trees up again. Going to make a nice little palm tree over there and another little cluster of trees over here. When you are going for, well, beauty or so, do not think that you should be going in even numbers. If you are going to plant trees like this and you want it to look nice, always follow the artistic thing with there being uneven numbers. If you have uneven numbers, it is actually going to look better than if you have even numbers. So if you plant 2 trees, it's going to look not as nice as when you plant 3 trees together. Okay, we are going to be putting in some shrubs over here as well too. I love the Scaviola bush. I'm not sure what the Scaviola really looks like, but no, apparently it looks like that. Scaviolas look quite good. Silky oak, oh yes. Silky oak I'm going to be putting more to the side. I mentioned the silky oak previously, the relative of the proteas from Australia, relative of South Africa's national flower, which is the king protea. Let's have a look. Wow, there are not a lot of trees to choose from. We've got the strangler fig. I think if I put it like that, it's going to look alright. I'm going to put like that, and another one right over there. And perhaps there are still going to be walls, but we are going to hide it with the rocks and the trees and stuff. So in this case, we're actually not going to be putting in a wombat, no. And wombats, I do believe we do have wombats here, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the common wombat was brought in with a relatively recent update, or DLC. But we're not going to be going for the wombat. We are going for a flightless bird. That is what we are going for today, in this one at least. A different thing from South America will be going into our other enclosure that I have prepared already. Okay, we're going to be putting in the dynamic rocks over here, mossy rocks. That's going to look quite nice. Just again trying to build a bit of a barrier here to keep these guys away from our tourists, so that our poor tourists are not in any danger from the world's so-called most dangerous bird. That's a bunch of rocks over there, that's alright. I think let's go now for a bit more of the tropical rock. Yeah, this is a big one. Maybe we should actually be building a bit of an overgrown area for them to actually be sheltered in here, because they're going to complain about shelter in any case. May as well try to build them something. I always battle to find the right rocks for the job, but I think if we take these guys and kind of stack them on top of each other and put off the random rotation, that is going to also help a little bit the air. And just twist like that, that's going to be alright. And then just bring this down. Up like this. And up like that. Just make it stand slightly more like that. In the end, we're not going to need the walls over here because our rocks are going to be our walls. Well, emus, although they can be a little bit aggressive, as I have learned because I used to terrorize emus a little bit, there is a bird that is even more dangerous than an emu, which is also in Dinkum. And it is, in Dinkum, it is the wary moo. So we are going to be putting in cassowaries in this enclosure because, you know, why not? I like cassowaries. I've only ever seen one. It was a captive one at that. I've never seen a wild one. Haven't been to Papua New Guinea nor to Australia. So one day, hopefully, we will see those guys as well. And I just want to build a nice shelter for our visit or things that we're going to be having. Our birds over here. Let's build like this. Build like that, go up and down, and twist around. And then just have like that. Okay. Not sure which visitor or staff member is humming like that, but it's a very interesting hum that they are giving there. Okay, so for this, I think we are going to just make a pillar stand upright. Just get this nice and relatively straight. Go. This is going to be the pillar, or there are going to be some pillars at least, holding up this roof over here. Okay. Oh, apparently it is snowing again. Marvelous. Let's get this a little bit more to the side. Okay. That. Over here at least it isn't snowing. Well, neither in this enclosure nor where I am currently sitting. Although I would not be surprised if there's a bit of snow in the mountains close to where we are. It certainly feels like that. Although I'm sure, Hans, that for someone like you, a little bit of snow is really not a problem. The Africans, we're not really that used to it, so for us, it's a strange occurrence when we do have snow. And I have never in my entire life had a snow day where we didn't go to school because it was snowing. That is not something we have in South Africa. And then where I grew up, we basically had extreme heat, 40 degrees Celsius, well, 48 degrees Celsius sometimes in the middle of summer. Oh, our platypus is about to die. Oh, Inala. Inala, you have been an amazing platypus, and I am very sad that you are going to be passing away now. Oh well, elderly at 15.2 years. A Dinkum livestream or riot? Well, I would support a Dinkum livestream. I would definitely, be keen for that. I was actually thinking about it earlier today, that perhaps we should actually, Nick, I think you and I should have a live stream when I finished building this zoo. I think we should be playing a live stream of Dinkum, because that is going to be a lot of fun to actually do as well. And then she can play with me. Good hockey weather, yes. Well, I guess you do need cold conditions to have proper ice hockey. in South Africa, if you say that you are playing ice hockey, people will look at you very funny. Let's just, well, we have got Inala over here. Shame. Very sad sight, but if we just ignore the fact that Inala over here unfortunately has passed away and apparently has one of her flippers popping through her body over there, notice the toothless mouth. The mouth which has no prominent teeth present there. And that is one of the things that the duck-billed platypus, and that's partly why it is the duck-billed platypus. I mean, it doesn't look like it has any teeth, but it has tiny little teeth, and it is not a vicious carnivore of big creatures. These little guys go for invertebrates, worms, and stuff like that. So they don't need massive teeth. They just need a fine little row of tiny little teeth. And yeah, this is the duck-billed platypus. Still, for me, the most amazing scientific name of Ornithorhynchus anatinus, where if we just go to the Zoopedia here, and we just go to platypus, there we go, duck-billed platypus, where's the scientific name? Ornithorhynchus anatinus. Ornithos, bird, rhynchus is beak, anas, the genus of duck, and tinus just meaning like, so bird beak like a duck, which is still just the most amazing scientific name I've ever heard for a wild, well, for an animal. Unfortunately, we're going to have to put up a little sign over here now saying that unfortunately we have lost Nala. Signs, I think that's memorial. Limestone or brass? We're going for brass. Okay. Align to surface. And we're going to go with that. And this is now for Inala. You will be missed. She was a platypus. She was 14 point something, I think. Where's Inala? Inala was 15.2. Okay, a little bit older than I anticipated. Not very, very long-lived creatures, unfortunately. Would have loved to have the platypus over here for a longer period of time. Was the female, I believe, 15.2 years of age. Died on 23 October of year 20. Year 20 is sad. We've lost 2 animals thus far. Old age and being awesome. Fortunately, Inala was too awesome for this world, and she has now passed. Yeah, it is a female. Okay, I was just like, imagine I say Inala is the female and it's actually the male that we had in there. But oh my word, what a snowy wonderland. I suspect our gharials may be struggling a little bit. I think they may be a little bit unhappy. Yeah, gharials wouldn't have this cold weather. You can see here, habitat, yeah. Severe environmental problems. If we do not get rid of all this snow, then the people are going to start rioting. And not because we're not playing Dinkum, but they're going to start rioting because gharials do not want snow. So let's just quickly put in the heaters before all that happens. We're going to put a heater over here. We're going to put a heater over there. We're going to put one over here. Obviously everywhere around here. We're going to put another one over here. Put this entire enclosure, I would say with underfloor heating, but this is not underfloor heating. This is exhibit heating. This is going to suddenly become a very, very hot, well, relatively hot, because apparently I don't have power here. So we're going to have to just quickly sort that out. The facility is power. Yeah, let's go for solar when there is no sun. That makes sense. We do want all of them to fall in that grid. Right. Just going to go with paths. And we're just going to go with a 4-meter one. Just going to switch this around. that. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now, there should be power, and now the temperature, there we go. The temperature is going up. Come on, I think we need a little bit larger range. Oh, we can't have larger range. Okay, which means we'll need another one there. We need another one around here somewhere. And we need one here. Okay. Let's do that, shall we? Why did you look like you were eating one of the babies? Interesting. Going to put one right over here as well. Okay, I think one in this area as well. And just because we can, right over there as well. Okay. How are you all feeling now? Snow is still a little bit too much, but not too much of a problem. The terrain is 95%. I think they are alright. Oh, the duckbill platypus, one of them is already ready to become an adult. Okay. Show me where you are. Right, let's have a look. Ah, there we go. There's a little baby, little puggle. Still the cutest name for a baby animal, a puggle. I actually told my Ecology 1 students, my first year students, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. I told them that, yeah, a baby monotreme, like an echidna or a platypus, is called a puggle. And a baby marsupial is, of course, called a joey. Two of the cutest names for any animal baby that there is. It makes lamb and fawn and things like that pale in comparison to the awesome name that is a puggle and a joey. Anyway, right. So, just a recap. Our little red pandas were doing quite alright earlier. Let's just quickly check here how they are doing now. I think the red pandas are doing alright. Oh, in fact, they're doing so well, the female is expecting offspring. Well now. Oh, it's such a cute little fluffles. Oh my word. Look at that. Ah, there's the one walking around in the back. Oh my soul, they are such cute creatures. And so well done in this game, I must say. Oh my word. Ah. Okay, anyway. Let's have a look here. Back to Papua New Guinea. I'm going to battle. Back to Australasia. Back to Oceania. There we go. Back to this area. Let's go. And we are going to have to put in some heaters in this enclosure here as well. But for now, we are just first still wrapping up this shelter, I think. I think we should, yeah, I think we should wrap this up a little bit more. And not have a line to surface on. This, oh, and not have the rotation angle on. That should work. Okay. Now, I suspect that the cassowaries will not be able to actually go out along here. I suspect so. I am not 100% sure. However, I think this, yeah, this section here we need one-way glass. Because people will want to see into the sleeping area, whereas the cassowaries should not be stressed because of people looking at them. So we're going to put one-way glass in here and hopefully have it the right way around. That way, there we go. So now people can stand here and look in where the cassowaries are sleeping without the cassowaries being too stressed about all that happening. Okay. Let's put in bedding. Habitat. Beds and bedding. Ah. Okay, I know this was for that, but anyway. Let's put in... Oh, that's too big. Large bedding. I think smaller piles of bedding. Like this. And that. And this. With a bit of greenery in here as well. Just for, you know, to make it look nice. There we go. Okay, I think my shift again was pressed in too long there. There we go. Great stuff. A little bit of greenery. The red panda is about to have babies. The red panda is about to have babies. Hello. Oh, you're gonna have some babies. Okay, you are going to leap around to have your babies. Well, that's one way to guess it. I guess to do it. Wow, okay. Where are your little babies? Come on. I think there's a little baby. Well, it's already like teenager size, but anyway. Cute. Hello. Oh, so sweet. Hello. Oh, man, that's cute. And there we go. Super Mom just flew off into the distance there. Anyway. Okay, so now we even have little red panda babies. Oh, my word. That's awesome. Okay. So, I still need to finish building this. Maybe we should just pause the game a little bit. We have more than enough money over here with 657,000 currently in the bank. I think we can afford to pause the game a little bit just so we can finish building here. But yeah, regarding your question whether any of us have skated the Hans, I have never skated. I know Nick has. I think she mentioned there that she has, but I have never actually been ice skating. Something that perhaps is still on the list for me of things that I want to do. Although I am definitely going to suck at it. That's for sure. But I think it will be something that's going to be interesting to try. At least once, like paintball, for example. I'm going to be blue and sore afterwards. But it's something that perhaps one has to try to do at least once in your life. Okay, let's get this sorted like that, perhaps. Yeah, I think like that. Okay, that's good. Getting quite a lot of rocks there. I need a bit more foliage. Come on, where are we that we can get some trees? What trees have we got? We don't really have a lot of trees here. The rainbow eucalyptus is the biggest of the trees we have. So we can put that one kind of like that. And that is going to hopefully form a bit of a barrier. I'm not sure whether it is or whether it still counts as an effective barrier, but I know at some point you could plant trees or put trees like that and it would be a natural barrier. The animals wouldn't walk through it. And then of course one does need one to... Oh well, now these are still standing up. Anyway. Right. Wrangler fig. I think if we have that like that, that could work. And then we can have one standing out a little bit more over here. Really form a nice little shrubbery. We are the knights who say, "Nee." We demand a shrubbery. Right. Tamarind trees. I think. Which one's the biggest? Not sure. None of them are really massive. No. That's a strangler fig again. Oh well. Let's go for this one. We'll just dump that in there as well. And have it over here as a bit more of a tree. Rising from the... There we go, from the soil fixed into the rocks. Yeah, that looks relatively natural. That could work. These are tiny little vines. They really are quite small. So we are just going to go with little ferns scattered all over this place here. Okay, now I need random rotation on again. There we go. Going to just put this like that. Other one like this. I can just imagine bending your knees and stuff and then trying to ice skate. I will still fall on my ass a number of times. That is for sure. I have never even actually skateboarded, believe it or not. In all my years, I've never skateboarded because I am perhaps a little bit too terrified. I have got relatively okay balance, but I'm scared of falling. And I don't think that is going to change anytime soon. Right. Mat rush. I think this is the spinifex. Hey! Nick, look! It's a spinifex from Dinkum. The calling it Matte Rush. Yeah, this is definitely the spinifex. Ah, that's cool. Okay. Awesome to see some of the plants that we are accustomed to seeing in Dinkum. Seeing it in places like this. We are going to put this down as a barrier as well. Although it isn't going to be the best barrier, we are going to put it like that. And then we are going to try to get the smallest of the grevilleas of the... I don't think there are any small silky oaks here, but we're going to just plant one like this. Try to. Come on. There we go. Oh man, this is supposed to look forested, and now it is just looking... I don't know, not there yet. We are not there yet, but we will get there. Let's get here. All the plants. What have we got? Oh, really very few plants to choose from here. Okay. Let's have a look here. We need some plants, some brightly colored. We'll put in a bunch of these little guys. The crocodilian. Of varying shapes and sizes and heights. Nice little patch of color. Because the cassowaries that we are going to be putting in here, they love the color red and blue most likely. Because the fruits that they are going for are mostly red and blue in color. Maybe we actually, let's have a look here. In the Zoopedia, cassowary, can we put anything from Asia in there? I don't think we can. Southeast Asia. Okay, so maybe we can actually choose. Because if we look at the distribution, there actually are more found in Queensland, I believe, and then in these islands over here. So perhaps a little bit there. Yeah, that I guess counts as Southeast Asia. Let's see if we choose Southeast Asia. Theme. South. There's no Southeast Asia. Come on. Okay, so we're going to go with Asia. I'm not sure why water hyacinth is here, because water hyacinth is not from this area. Water hyacinth comes from South America, but anyway. Let's say it doesn't. Let's say we can put that in there as well. Okay. Nice little leaves, little shrubberies. Like that. Another one there, another one down there. Elephant's ear, put that in there. That's a floating one. We don't want that. We are going to put in another Titanomorpha. Titan arum. In terms of plants... I want bulrush. There we go. Cattails. I want that rather than Phragmites reeds. I don't think the Phragmites reeds are really going to give me what I want. These little guys over here, the Phragmites, the common reed, I think they're called. Yeah, common reeds. They are not going to do that. Wait, where was my immersion? Well, Hans, what are you referring to there? My immersion. What did I do now? Because clearly I did something. I'm going to put another little palm there. Coconut palm. I'm not sure whether that is really from this area either. But we're going to put in some coconut palms because why not? It looks nice and tropical. Coastal mangrove tree. Well, that is what I wanted to go for in this area. It's a bit more of a mangrove look. So let's get rid of these bulrushes. We'll put them back later. For now, let's put in some more mangroves. Come to think of it. I wanted this area to look a little bit more like a mangrove forest because the cassowaries do occasionally go into mangrove areas, so areas with mangroves. Yeah, that could work. We do need one a little bit more in the water itself, like that. Oh, plants from the wrong region, yeah. Yeah, we're just going to assume that everything is all right, and that these trees do occur, more or less, at least in this area. We'll find out if the cassowaries are unhappy about the fact that we have put in some of these trees. Then we know, okay, well, maybe we shouldn't be putting them in. Going to put in some claddings or pillars, I think, now. And we are going to have that in this section over here. So let's get this section all the way to this section. Let's lower it. Can we lower it even more? Come on. Give me lower. Nope, that's apparently as low as I can go. Okay, fine. Then we'll do that. Nature. Pillars. Thick. I want, not thin, I want a thickish pillar. That's thin. This would work. Okay, right. Let's have this. And let's actually get the random position off again, or random rotation off again. What we are going to be doing is, hopefully, I've never done this at all in this game, hopefully we are going to create a natural fence over here where the cassowaries cannot actually get to our poor visitors and disembowel them in the process, but the people will be able to actually look at them quite nicely over the cladding, over the pillars that we've got over here. Hopefully that works. Let's just change like that, and change it to that. There we go. We are going to have to make this look nice in a moment. Just want the outline a little bit. And then we'll just do like this. And this will hopefully work. Right. Then we are going to put in the thin ones. Right. That. And we're going to put that in as these types of barriers. And we're just going to turn them around a little bit so that it is not the same throughout. And give them a little bit of alternating height or varying heights here. Oh, I have lost my chat here. Let's just quickly get back to the chat here. Hopefully my phone is still working. There we go. Okay, still more or less working. Great. I have no idea what the stream looks like because my phone constantly loses the actual stream, but I suspect that is because I am using bandwidth to actually stream. At least I can still see my chat. There we go. Let's twist this around a little bit as we go and put this in there. Right. Bring this out, twist it back to that, bring it up, in and out. This is quite a laborious process, I must say. I'm not sure how often I'm going to do this in the game, but anyway, let's actually just duplicate, and do this, shall we? I think this is going to be a little bit easier. No, not like that. Okay, fine. I guess that is going to be a little bit easier, and then we'll just take some of them and rotate them a little bit. Okay, that could work. Just going to put one lower down again, one higher up. That, lower down, higher up. Oh, not higher up, apparently. There we go. Lower, closer, higher, there, like that. Higher. Right. I think that is going to be all right. Then, of course, we do need it to look relatively natural. And that is going to, of course, require us to make the thingamajigs. Oh my word. I can just imagine having wood over here as well. This is going to take a while. Okay. We'll get back to the cassowary enclosure later on. For now, let's unpause a little bit so that time goes on a little bit, and let's actually go and have a look at this enclosure over here. So the idea here is to kind of simulate the South American forests and a little bit of a stream going through it, because the creature that we're going to have here does come from South America, and it is the smallest crocodile in the world, or crocodilian, sorry, not true crocodile. This is Cuvier's dwarf caiman, and we are just going to put a little feeding tray, I think right over here. Okay, and then we're just going to smoothen out the terrain a bit, like this, so that our keepers can still get here. And then just to make sure that everything is alright, they've got enough water. Let's just check, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, the water here is being filtered. That is great. Great news. Enrichment-wise, a mud bath. Really? For Cuvier's dwarf caiman. Okay. I guess so. We're just going to put that, I think, over here somewhere. So let's just terrain. Let's have it like that, so that we can then put in this thing. There we go. A mud bath. Okay, that's going to be quite nice. Should have probably smoothed this out a little bit before I did that. Oh, I can still do it after. Okay, more of this afterwards. That's right. Okay, mud bath. And then just one last little thingy for it. Food-wise, we can give them a frozen blood pumpkin like that over there. And then let's go and get some caimans, shall we? Cuvier's dwarf caiman. Okay, I don't think I've got... No, I've got none in storage. Okay. Oh, I'm not going to go for any albinos, as if I can help it in this game. This one is quite a good one. This one is perhaps even better, so let's adopt that one. Obviously, we have to go for Luciana. Yes, that is going to be the female that we are going to adopt. Because with Lucy, our Dachshund, our one little doggy, we often call her Luciana. So yeah, we're going to have to do that. And Lucy has been to the doctor yesterday. So yeah, 2 days ago. Yesterday or 2 days? Yesterday. Yesterday. Oh, shame. Yeah, yesterday morning. Went to the doctor. As did Memphis. And both of them had teeth removed, unfortunately. So yeah, they're feeling a little bit unhappy with life at the moment. And old Lucy, she's doing all right now, thankfully. Carlos and Luciana. Oh, we did have two here. Oh, well. We're just going to send these two to the closest quarantine. Just right over there. And then they're going to come and chill in their little enclosure over here. So while we're waiting for them to be cleared for introduction, let's just quickly get the terrain ready here, because they are supposed to be from a tropical environment where there's obviously a lot of water, which is why we have got quite a bit of water in their exhibit over here. And they are from a rainforest-like environment. So we're going to put a bit of soil in here, a bit of darker soil, and get rid of some of the tall grasses here. Oh, the king penguin ivy is about to have babies as well. Of course she is. A little bit of sand along the river bend over here. Just around the river bend. Always get that song stuck in my head. I haven't actually seen Pocahontas in, must have been like 20 years. And yet every time I hear just around the river bend, or say around the river bend, then that song is stuck in my head. So anyway. I think maybe I should actually move this a little bit higher. Because this is perhaps just going to be tempting fate. Yeah, I think let's do that. Oh, can't move that high. There we go. Maybe like that. Okay. Hopefully the caiman can't escape that way. We'll find out in a moment. Of course, coming from the tropics, the caimans here will also need heaters. Because otherwise they are going to be also very unhappy in life. So we're going to put in a little heater over there. And then another one right over here. And we can put one outside here as well. And then a last little one, I think, over here. And then we'll see how that goes. So apparently quarantine has been passed. At least both? Yes, both of them are ready. Okay, great stuff. Okay, so quarantine. Let's have a look here. Where are my animals? There we go. Both of them can be moved. And let's just move them to the right enclosure, shall we? Right over there. Okay, then we'll see how they feel about their new environment. Oh, shame. Memphis with a chocolate milkshake. Memphis is actually quite a trooper. I mean, considering that he's had 3 teeth pulled yesterday, he is looking quite chipper. He's actually quite happy. He's not... No, he's not currently napping over here. Not sure where he is. Nick, you also don't know. Probably lying on the bed. Probably sleeping. He's because it's been so cold, he has been spending most of his day in bed. But then whenever he thinks that he's going to get something to eat, he runs up to us and he's like always ready to eat. Sore teeth, doesn't matter. He just wants something to eat. Come on, bring us the caimans. Bring us the caimans. Here they come. And then, once we have the caimans in here, we'll see whether how they feel about their new habitat. Woohoo! Hello there! Oh, such a beautiful creature. I mean, look at that. Yeah, bring us the other one too. Look at that run! Look at him run! Oh my word. He's such a cute little waddle. And of course, in he goes into his shelter. Oh, the reason I've got this little underground section here is because the Cuvier's dwarf caiman will very often shelter in these overhanging sections next to a river. And so he, obviously that one over there, who's that? That is Luciana. Oh, obviously went for it. Okay, so let's see. How are you all feeling about your environment? Okay, 2 little short grass. Okay, we can fix that. Don't worry about that. We can fix that. Enough hard shelter. Well, that's good news. The plants can actually be even denser. Oh, I love it when the animals think that the plant cover can be denser. That's great. They are quite happy with all their plants. Okay. Enrichment-wise, 100%. Brilliant. Socially, perfect. Yeah, that is... Everything is great. Okay. Oh, such a beautiful little crocodile. So as I've mentioned, these are the smallest crocodilians of all of the living ones that are alive. There used to be some previous crocodilians that were quite a bit smaller, and in fact some of them were actually tree-dwelling or arboreal crocodilians. They lived in Papua New Guinea area, actually more New Caledonia, which is more or less in that same area. It used to be part of Zealandia, the 8th continent, which sunk below the waves shortly after the dinosaurs went extinct, I believe it was. But yeah, this is a little guy whose eye is in the post that I had, that I posted this morning. We are going to just put in some bedding for these little guys, because obviously they need a little bit of bedding. Apparently they don't, but I am going to put in some in any case, because everybody needs a bit of bedding. Oh, that's too big. There we go. A little medium bedding. There we go. That's still good. Okay. No, that is too bad. Okay. Too big. Unfortunately, the bedding seems to mess up the cave that I've built. So I'm not going to put in bedding. They seem to be quite happy with the fact that it's just a little sheltered cave. Okay. Right. So, more vegetation, you say. We'll get to that then. Okay. 3 teeth removed, at least getting some soft kitty food. Oh, yeah. Memphis, he loves his little kitty food. He turns into a little baby. We're not sure how old he is because we got him, I got him as a stray many years ago, or a few years ago. But since I've had him for about 4 years now, he's probably around 8 years old at the moment. So yeah, look at him waddle. Look at them waddle, up and down, up and down. Okay, go into the water. Yes. Okay, weird little waddle that you're doing there, but okay. So, dwarf caiman. Interesting that this is one of the few crocodilians which are not hunted for their skin, which is quite weird. I think it is because the belly skin is actually too tough to really work with, which at least means that this species is not a threatened species. Let's have a look here in the Zoopedia. They are classified as least concern. Yeah, they are. In the wild, not sure how many there are, but I think they said there are possibly about 2 million of them. No, maybe not 2 million, but there are quite a lot of them in the wild, so they're quite alright. But of course, as with all crocodilians, very powerful tails that they can use to power themselves forward in the water. And what we're not seeing at the moment is the nictitating membrane, which is like a third eyelid. When they go into the water, the eyelids, the eyes remain open, but the eyelids close. They've got a third membrane that will close over the eye, which allows them to still see within the water without the actual eyeball being in contact with the water itself. It's quite interesting to see that in the crocodilians and in many other animals that have got that third eyelid. Such a beautiful creature. And let's have a look here. How are your... There we go, the webbing on the feet. Okay. So, if we look over there, that's what you'll find, I believe, in all crocodilians. Well, the ones that I know of, at least. I know Nile crocodiles also have got the same there, where the front feet, or their hands, have got no or very little webbing. And then their hind feet are webbed, because they will use their hind feet more to actually paddle a little bit. And you can perhaps see this as it goes forward. You can see kind of paddling a little bit there with his feet, with his hind feet. So obviously that is still providing a bit of power, along with a very powerful tail. And then the front legs are more to grip onto things when they are coming onto land or dragging themselves out of the water. And when they are swimming, they actually, as you can see here, they hold their hands next to their bodies so that it minimizes drag. And you'll find the same thing probably with the gharial. Pretty sure with the gharial, perhaps even more so with the gharial. Let's have a look. Gharials are over here. Well, here's one trying to swim. Unfortunately, not a lot of water for the gharials. I think we may need to address that in future. But the gharial has actually gone one step further. They are so aquatic that if we actually look at this one over here, using its tail, the tail is really, if you look from the top here, very, very slender. And from the side, very flattened. It's depressed. Well, not depressed as in very sad. It's depressed as in flattened. And that's because these crocodiles are extremely aquatic. Even for crocodiles, they are very aquatic. And the flattened tail provides more power in the water to power themselves forward so they can swim a little bit better. And again, as with the caiman, you can see holding the front legs right up next to the body. The hind legs also, but the hind legs can be used, especially when turning a little bit, to actually turn around a bit more easily. Oh my word, there are lots and lots of baby gharials. And hear that wow sound. That's a typical sound that baby crocodiles will make, especially when they hatch. Of course, crocodiles, you would think that the crocodile isn't a very good mother, but many crocodiles, I think all crocodiles actually, are at least very good mothers. The fathers, not so much. They go on their own way. But the mother will have a nest where she lays her eggs underground, and then she will very often have sand and some decaying organic matter, plant leaves and stuff like that on top of the eggs. And that then, as the leaves break down, will generate some heat. And then, of course, she can control the temperature within the nest by taking away some of the soil and the leaves and adding onto it again, and to keep the temperature correct for the little babies to hatch. And then when the time comes and they actually do hatch, they will make that sound, and they will then try to get the mother's attention, and then the mother digs them up and carries them down to the water. But that sound is what they make to communicate when they are little babies. So try and get their mother's attention. And yeah, such a cute sound. My word, I've only once heard it in real life, but it is the most adorable little sound you can hear from a little guy, from a little crocodile. Let's see. Okay, so Mace Winda is an adult. She is now a young adult. We're going to release her into the wild. Yeah, let's release her. We are here as a captive breeding program. After all, we have got, let's just call the mechanic to come and maintain the barrier here. We are trying to get a whole bunch of babies born and then actually release them into the wild, especially of more vulnerable species or more endangered species like the okapi over here. And of course the gharial, which are critically endangered. So now with the addition of our little dwarf caiman over here, we now have 2 crocodilian species. And that then leaves, I believe, only the saltwater crocodile and the spectacled caiman. Yeah, so there's a spectacled caiman, which we will also still put in at some point. And then there is the saltwater crocodile. Yes, what if we are... Okay, that's the crowned crane. Okay. The saltwater crocodile, of course, the big old salty. We are still going to perhaps put it in here, perhaps in another zoo. We'll see. Okay. So, let's... Now that we are finally... We've got that sorted, that Cuvier's dwarf caiman exhibit sorted. Let's get back to this problem child over here. So we're going to put in, perhaps actually put in some timber. Yeah, I think we're going to put in some timber as bars on the top here. Alternatively, or we can just have, we can just take this and all the way around here, and I actually think, you know what, maybe we should just have mirrors, windows in this section. We're just going to go with that, and we're going to raise it up to there, perhaps a little bit higher, like that, and then from this section all the way around to this section again. Let's just go with windows. One-way glass, and I think we've got it that way around. Okay. Doesn't look great. But we can fix that. We can fix that by moving this here. Moving this here. Actually, just deleting this. Now, I spent a lot of time. Man, I spent a lot of time with this. Okay. We're going to do something else here. No, I do want to actually have it the way I had it. So let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Okay, I think let's have it like that. Okay. Man, I'm not looking forward to this section or doing this, but I think actually if we do it like this, it could work. Okay, let's try. Let's try and see whether we could make this work. Just like that. And then we'll just have like this. Yeah, we'll see whether this works. If the cassowaries escape, then this is a very valuable lesson in Planet Zoo. For me and for all of you watching, either now or somewhere in the future. Hello, future you guys. Great to have you all on board as well. There we go. Okay. Just going to switch around and try to let this look as relatively decent as possible. Raise this a little bit higher. Doesn't have to all be at exactly the same height. Of course, we can also hang some vegetation. Not ivy, because ivy would not occur in this part of the world. But some other hanging plants we can also put in. This has to turn a little bit more to this side. The slight perfectionist in me is having an attack. Going to have to do it like this. Could work. Yeah, that could work. And we're going to remove this bottom wall. We're going to make it a null barrier and then see whether this works. And if it doesn't, well, then we're going to have to catch some creatures. That's what we're going to have to do. We're just going to have it this, I think, and then just like this. What we are going to do is just make sure that we don't have that. Going to remove and do this and bring it down like that. Okay. Right. And then this all the way around to this section here. We are just going to put as a null barrier. And now people can come and stand here and hopefully look at the cassowaries without the cassowaries escaping. We'll see. We'll find out soon enough. Okay. Nature. Nature-wise, plant-wise. Don't need any pillars. But we do need some kind of vine. Some kind of vine. Not these vines. These ones. And we're going to put them on a line to surface. Just going to let them hang down like this. And perhaps hang down like this. There we go. Really giving a bit of more of a jungly feel. But we are going to just push them in slightly more like that. Just so that when we stand here, it doesn't look like it's hanging, as we can see here. Hanging in front of it. We want it pushed right into that rock. It looks more natural. Now, of course, in theory, these little vines should be attached to something. Oh, and here we go. Here we've got snow again. And I can just hear... Is it Lucy or is it Pepper sleeping? Nick? Yeah. I think our Pepper is currently dreaming because I just hear her giving soft little barks in the background there. Oh, so sweet. Okay. We are going to be putting in heaters in this enclosure as well. Technically, the electricity bill of this zoo would be quite atrocious. And technically, this zoo would not be able to exist in South Africa due to the fact that we don't have power in South Africa. Yeah, still a lot of load shedding happening, even worse now, I think, than it used to be or was previously. But yeah, anyway, right, so, wow, that's a lot of snow. Okay, we are going to address that now. Let us just get habitat, heaters. Okay, we need this entire area warm. We're going to have this entire area warm. There. I'm going to put all around the edges here. And hopefully that is going to help put or heat up the entire enclosure. We do need to make sure that there's power everywhere. I don't think there's power. No, there's no power on this side. Although, why are these ones floating? Yeah, I just... okay, yeah. Oh my word. It was still on a line to surface. So obviously what happened is it just kind of popped it up into the trees. Just going to put this one, no, put it down, not underground, but right over there. I don't want it floating around. Nor do I want it completely submerged. Finicky, there we go. And I'm not sure whether this one was even placed or whether it was placed up in the canopy of the trees there. Anyway. Right, so now, as the snow is retreating, we are finding that this area still has too much snow. This area up here still has snow. Okay, let's just have a look here at temperature-wise. This area is still too cold. Okay. So heater is going to come, I think, right next to this rock over here. Right over there. Going to heat all of this up, and then there's going to be a heater. Hopefully the heaters don't break, because we're going to put this one right up here in the rocks. And good luck to any mechanic trying to get to that. Okay, that's going to hopefully be alright. Rightio. Now. Okay, now there is snow falling, but I don't think there's any snow. Incomplete. Where is it incomplete? Is it because there's no barrier here? That's why. Okay, fine. I can fix that. Oh yes, I did remove the barrier earlier. Whoops. I removed the barrier when I made the hill, and then I hid the barrier so well that I am struggling to actually get to the barrier over here. There we go. Okay, right. We're going to put a null barrier. Come on, give me null barrier. We're just going to put the null barrier all around the outside here, because surely the cassowaries are not going to be running around here. Okay. Just add it onto that. Okay, now the barrier should be complete. And there we go. Okay, great stuff. Terrain-wise, snow is 8%. Yeah. Okay, we're going to have to do something about that, but I think that is because it's including this section up here. So, I'm wondering, I don't think this one has got power. Oh, it is operational. So it seems that if it isn't an enclosure that has got power, maybe it also has power? We'll find out in a moment. Okay, let's put this one right at the top here, because why on earth not? This one apparently also has power. Okay, so if you have an enclosure, because, oh, the okapi is again going to have a baby. It seems every time we have a live stream, the okapi has a baby. Ah, that's so cool. Okay. Right. Okay. Just sorting things out on this side. There. And now I finally have my chat again. Okay. Great stuff. Have we had the baby yet? That's the question. Apparently it has been born. Not sure where the baby is. Running around, I suppose. Anyway. Okay, so Let's get back here. It's torrential downpour, it seems, at the moment here in Small Beginnings Zoo. Oh, wow. I must say, this little exhibit is looking a little bit more like it's supposed to be. And that is marvelous. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy bringing in some cassowaries now. In a moment. In a moment. Let us first just bring in some more aquatic plants. Make it look nice. Here by the waterfall we're going to have some lotus. Nice little pool area there. And just here by the mangroves, of course, as well. The cattails we'll put around the heater over here just to hide that a little bit. So that people don't have to look into that the whole time. Yaru is also about to die of old age. Man, today is not a good day for the meerkats. Apparently, Yaru is already dead. At 17 years of age. Oh. Okay. So, Yaru is a male, I believe. Or was a male, yes. Okay. Oh my word, okay. Duplicate and advanced move. And we just is in memory of Yaru. I think was 17 years of age and was a male meerkat. Died on 4th 04 of 06. The year 2022. Okay, so we had gone 2 years without any babies or any individuals dying, so that's alright. Okay, but the vet has been called. Yes, vet urgently assigned. Shame. Okay. Right, in the torrential downpour, we've got to mourn the death of one of our meerkats. We have to at some point go and have a look and see, you know, animal is not in its ideal temperature. Then get out of the cold, go into the warm environment. We're going to have to at some point probably replace our meerkats. Habitat 12. Where is Habitat 12? Zoo. Location. Habitat 12 is the red pandas. Oh. Not sure why the inspector had problems with Habitat 12, but oh well. Okay, already agreed with the maximum number. Have a look here. Breed exhibit species. Oh, I assume we had more and more and more puff adders being born. Animal died, was it? Ah, Mkredisi. Man, okay, so the adult female Mkredisi has also passed. We're going to have to get longer lived creatures in here. Unfortunately. Let's get... come on. Like that. Okay. And... yeah. Okay. DC. I think that was... okay. Okay, DC. Yeah, meerkat. Meerkat female, yes, I think she was also 17 years old and died on 26. At some point we are either going to have to get older or longer lived creatures or stop doing memorials for all the creatures. And no, passed away in 2022. Died of old age, yes. Yeah. Call vet urgently. Here we go. Okay. Oh, the red panda is also about to mature, which means we'll be able to introduce a red panda adult into the wild. Actually, 2 red pandas into the wild because they are siblings. There are 2 siblings here. They are these 2 little babies. Oh, it's a whole family. And in fact, yes, here you can see them eating bamboo. So like the giant panda, they also do go for bamboo, even though they are not closely related to the giant panda. They are completely unrelated, in fact. I'm wondering, with the red panda... there we go. Red panda. Does it tell us what family it is in? Species... No, it doesn't tell us what family they are in. I wanted to know what family it's in. Because it's not in the Ursidae. It is not in the in the bear family. There we go. One has matured. We will release that one into the wild. Get 125 conservation credits because of that. I think this is also the other young one. Yes, indeed it is. So we will release this animal into the wild as well. They are so cute. They really are the most adorable little creatures. And now we have gotten the chance to release 2 of them back into the wild to try and conserve them in their natural habitats. Oh, I mean, look at that. Oh, they are surprisingly arboreal species, or they're very arboreal, actually. They love living in trees and being in trees, and I love the fact that in the game here, they also are very good climbers and actually spend a lot of their time in the trees. Okay, I've gotten lost here a bit. I'm looking for our jungle over here. Our cassowary future, or soon, cassowary enclosure. So let's just finish up. Make it look nice. Let's go. I'm just trying to see here what other plants we can have as nice cover. I think the Kentia palm could potentially work. Along the tree, along the river here. Little young one there, the young one here. Okay, the pandas have left the zoo. Another little bigger one, perhaps to the back here. Oh, not that big, and that to the back. There we go. Nice little cluster. And then, of course, lipstick palms. They are quite brightly colored, and we have to have some plants in here that are brightly colored as well, because our cassowaries are indeed going to be very brightly colored. And oh my word, I can't wait to talk about them, because I love birds, firstly, and cassowaries in particular. I am very, very fond of them. Right. Let's have a look. Yeah, they do. The red pandas definitely have very, very dynamic personalities as well. Have you seen the video clip of the one red panda in a zoo that suddenly gets a fright with a rock and then goes crazy about the rock that is in his enclosure? That to me is just like, so cool. I love that video. It just makes me laugh every single time. We are going to be putting in a lot of Scaviola bushes here. There we go. If we put it in like this, at least it's going to look like there is quite a bit of undergrowth here as well. And perhaps more like this as well. This is going to be look quite good, I think. Just to try and show that there is in fact understory here as well, because with these forest ecosystems, you're not just going to have a bunch of trees and then nothing under them. You're going to find quite a lot of shrubbery as well. Unfortunately, the leaf litter here really is lacking. I mean, it's just a straight little flat plane, and you can put it down like that, and then some of it will shine through, but it doesn't really. It's more for a very, very small enclosure that will work. Underwater temple plant. Interesting. Okay. That's cool. I've not played around with those ones. Weeping willow I am not going to be putting in because, yes, it does come from Asia, but this comes from old Babylon. This is Salix babylonica, which is the... well, Babylon, obviously, that comes from the Middle East, rather than from Asia or Southeast Asia, where the cassowaries occur. So I think, let's actually go and have a look here. Zoo animals. Cassowary. I think it's a southern Oh, sorry, animal trading. That's where I'm supposed to go. There we go. Okay. There, Southern Cassowary. We've got a female and we've got a male. Whether they're not the best. I'm wondering whether we don't perhaps have better ones up here. Southern Cassowary. Have we got better ones for sale? That's quite a nice male. Oh, there's a better male. Yeah, we are going to adopt them. We have released a bunch of endangered creatures into the wild. We can afford to buy some nice ones here. Oh, yes, adopt this one as well. Okay, there go all my conservation credits, but it's going to be worth it. Oh, I probably should bring them in, right? Bring in the male and female. Send to this enclosure over here. Oh my word, we're going to have some cassowaries. There we go. So cute. And these guys are going to be awesome. Oh my word. Oh, the caiman's about to have babies. Okay, so in the game, of course, here, there aren't any egg laying with the crocodiles or so, with the birds either. So there are just going to be babies born. And of course, there are some reptiles that will have or will give birth to live young. The puff adder that we have in the exhibit, that's an example of a creature that will do that. Where they will... I guess this one is going to have the babies pop out in a moment. But where they will have eggs that develop inside the mother's body and then actually hatch within the mother's body. And then these little babies are born. So the mother gives birth to the babies. But in essence, she still has eggs developing in her. And with creatures that lay eggs, we call that oviparous, meaning egg-bearing or egg-laying. And then creatures like mammals, or most mammals, all mammals except for the monotremes, where they lay eggs, or sorry, where we as mammals give birth to live young, that's viviparous. And then creatures like the puff adder that we have in the exhibit, where they have eggs, but the eggs hatch inside the mother's body and the babies are then born. Those are ovoviparous, meaning egg and live bearing creatures. But the caiman over here would be a true oviparous species where they lay eggs. But of course, they don't have egg laying in the game here. Otherwise, this little female over here would have borrowed the eggs or buried the eggs over there and covered it with leafy material, and then the eggs would have hatched there. Has she given birth yet? Where are the babies? Come on. No babies yet. Okay. We're going to get the babies in a moment, I think. They're also going to be such little cute creatures. Oh, she's walking on the water there. That's amazing. It's like a little basilisk. Okay. Walking on two legs. This little caiman is doing all kinds of funny things today. But the cassowary's horn, that is part of the skull, as far as I recall. We'll have a look at the cassowary now. I was hoping that we could actually see the little babies popping up. But no luck yet. Oh, there's the other one. Hello. Running up to come and eat your fish. Now, the Cuvier's dwarf caiman here, they will feed on a variety of creatures. Yes, they will eat fish, like they are doing here. But they will also eat invertebrates, they will eat frogs, they will eat little birds, all those types of things. They go for smaller creatures, smaller prey than most of your other crocodilians. And the babies, in fact, will almost exclusively go for small things, small little fish, tadpoles, little frogs, and even insects, arthropods, anything that they can catch. It seems that we're not going to get babies from the female while we are watching her. She's a little bit shy, unless she's going into the burrow to go give birth, which would be cool if that is what is actually happening here. I'm hoping that is what's happening here. So let's have a look here. Let's speed it up a little bit. You're going in there to go give birth, little one? No. Apparently not. Okay. Fine. Then we are going to go have a look at the cassowaries, because clearly nothing is happening there, and as soon as I look away, we're going to have baby Cuvier's dwarf caimans here. Anyway, we're looking for our cassowaries, which will be in here somewhere in the snowy one. There we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. This is the male. Oh, this is supposed to be the male, okay, but clearly it's the female. Ah, wow. Look at that. Okay, so where's the male? Just want to see whether they have got any sexual dimorphism in this game. Because females would have a smaller head crest than the males. Anyway, here's the male apparently. Oh, wow. Such a beautiful creature. Notice those wattles, eh? Those are weird things. It's very characteristic of the cassowary, and I'm wondering whether the female actually has the wattles. Let's have a look here. I think the female either lacks the wattles or the wattles should be greatly reduced. Yeah, there we go. I think it is actually... It's present. Interesting. It should actually be smaller. Now, the cassowaries are really amazing and weird creatures. And yes, the majority of this would, I believe, be part of the skull. And then I think it is covered by a keratinized sheath. So basically like nails and things like that, covering that horn at the top there. And that is largely a defensive structure. They will use that to defend themselves if they are under threat by a predator or so. And there have been some fatal attacks on humans by cassowaries. Not many. There have been, I think, in the last 100 years, there have only been 2 fatal killings. One was in 1926 with a 16-year-old boy, where he and his brother that was 13, they decided to kill a cassowary by beating it with clubs. Yeah, you do not mess with the second heaviest bird on Earth. Try to beat it with clubs and then think that you're going to survive. Anyway, what happened is the cassowary knocked the oldest brother down and then probably severed its artery in the neck here, and as a result it probably bled out, because these guys have got not only the crest at the top there, but also, if we can, now both of them are napping, none of them are coming out, it seems. Okay, fine, but they have vicious talons on their feet as well. Okay, let's just quickly get this sorted. Yes, I know there's too much snow. There's nothing we can do about that. That's like 3% of your enclosure is snow. There's top of the trees right up there. Nothing we can do about that. You need more soil and you need more sand. Okay, the soil and sand we can easily put in. I'm going to put in some heavy soil over there. Make it look also a little bit more like a jungle. There we go. Enough soil at least, and then let's put in some coarsish sand all along here, along the river bend, and again just around the river bend is stuck in my head, and this area being mangrovey, almost mangroovy, but anyway, where it is here we are going to put in some more heavy soil as well. And then we need more sand. I think it's also going to settle out more towards the end of the river here. Let's just make the brush a little bit smaller. Oh, anyway, so as I was saying, in the past 100 years, 2 fatal attacks by cassowaries on humans. That was the children trying to beat it with a club. And then the other case was a person that kept one as a pet. And you would think that that would be somewhere in Australia, you know, where this is a native species. But in fact, that was in Florida, because of course it was somewhere in America where a 76-year-old, I believe it was, kept one as a pet, and then he fell down at some point and the cassowary killed him in the process. Also, again, I think severed the artery there. Regarding your question there, Hans, whether all the giant flightless birds are related, that's an awesome question. The largest flightless birds are all related. So cassowary, emu, rhea, ostrich, the extinct moa, the extinct elephant bird of Madagascar, those were all related to one another. They are all what we call ratites. R-A-T-T-I-T-E-S. Ratites. It's like rats, but it's not rats, it refers to birds. Those are all types of flightless birds where the breastbone here is not well developed, as you would see in flying birds, because the breastbone is where the flight muscles are attached. And with the ratites, they don't need flight muscles. I mean, if you look at this little guy here, there's the wing. He's not flying with that. Especially not considering this is the second heaviest bird after the ostrich. and the third tallest bird after the ostrich and then the emu. So yeah, they're definitely not flying. Ratites therefore have reduced breastbones and very well developed legs. Usually they also have very long necks, like you have here with the cassowary, and of course with the ostrich, the emu, the rhea. All of those have got long legs. There is one exception. There is one of these famous ratites, although I think there are also some other smaller ratites which also do not have long necks, but the most famous ratite that does not have a long neck is the kiwi, because the kiwi is quite closely related to these guys as well. Along with the ostrich, emu, rhea, and cassowary, they are the big ratites, or the form part of the ratites. So how old is the genus? Well, that's a very good question. If you look at Casuaria, which is the genus that the cassowary belongs to, they occur in Papua New Guinea, Australia. I think they diverged about 40 million years ago. So relatively ancient. So that's after the end of the dinosaur, so after the Mesozoic era. But I think they emerged during the Pleistocene, I think, or Paleogene. Maybe the Paleogene. I will have to double check, but I'm pretty sure they are, they are quite an ancient group, the genus at least. The group, the ratites, they are quite ancient. But yeah, there have been some weird birds in that group, that's for sure. I just realized that I think my caimans, they are in a, that area there still has problem. Okay, so I need to sort that out. Let's just put in a heater over here. Heat that area up. And let's just make sure that there's no snow in this biome. Let's have a look here in terms of the rain. Oh my word, there's 22% snow. Where on earth would that be? Okay, this is operational. Okay, now it's going to become less, I guess. We're just going to move this a little bit more to this area so that it can get rid of that snow there as well. Hannah, no, Hannah, don't inbreed. You already have a weird beak. Don't do this. Hannah, we're going to send you off to the wild. Bye-bye. Because that's what you get when you want to inbreed. We will send you off to an area where you are definitely not going to inbreed. Right, that's what we're going to do. Does any creature hunt them, or are they free from predators as adults? Well, that's a good question. So they are relatively free from predators. They have been hunted for probably centuries, if not millennia, by humans that are on the islands, especially Papua New Guinea. The eggs in particular are collected and then eaten. Well, they raised as chicks and then eaten as a delicacy. So humans, obviously, would be a potential problem. But where they occur, if you look at their distribution, let's go cassowary. Southern cassowary. Cassowaries, cassowarius. Yeah, cassowarius. It's quite a cool name and a very easy scientific name to remember. You just have to go cassowarius, cassowarius, and then you have it. But if you look at where they occur, right over there, there will be some salties, some saltwater crocodiles that would go for them. So in this area, and actually all the way, if they go too close to the water, there is a chance that saltwater crocodiles would get them, and there's nothing really much they can do to that. But in terms of their threats, humans and their vehicles are definitely the largest threats, especially roadkills. Unfortunately, a lot of them die every year due to being roadkill. So that is the main problem that they are facing, definitely. So humans would, I guess, count as a potential predator. But apart from that, they are relatively impervious to being hunted, except by, of course, large crocodiles. Definitely would be eaten by those. And I suspect if you're looking at their chicks, they most likely would also fall prey to some of the smaller predators. Marsupial predators like quolls most likely would go for them. Such a fun word to say, quoll. But yeah, they most likely would fall prey to them. Let's just have that, and we're going to put an educational speaker up here. think let's actually move it a little bit more over here. And we have them talking about the southern cassowary. And we're going to put the range everywhere. There. Everybody in this general vicinity will hear about the Casuarius casuarius. And this one also, southern cassowary. This one here, also southern cassowary. And then lastly, also southern cassowary. Of course, we always need money. So guest finance, a little bit over here, I think. Yeah, we'll put a bin over here. We'll put a bin over here. And we'll put one last one right over here in case people are actually looking at the... Oh, come on, I can't put it there. Really? I can't put a donation bin here? Fine, I'll put it over there. Okay, so we can take people's money. But yeah, freaking humans will always find a way to cause a creature to go extinct or become rarer. There are... Most of them, of the cassowary, are found in this part of their range. There are far fewer in the on the Australian mainland than there are in the island ecosystems over there. So Papua New Guinea definitely has by far the majority of them. They say about 10,000 to 20,000. Yeah, that sounds about right. Of that, about 15,000 to 2,500 are located on the Australian mainland, and the remainder would be in this area over there. Okay. And if you're looking at island ecosystems, usually not a lot of predators present there. And here, look at this funky ass bird over here. Oh, but this, that talon over there, that is what I wanted to show you. That sharp talon there, that along with the head crest over here, that is what is responsible for most injuries to humans. So in the cases where there have been attacks, in the... Oh, that's such a funky sound. Go on, do it again. And this looks like a dinosaur. I mean, look at that thing. Oh, wow. If you go to the island of Papua New Guinea, you are going to, for a moment, if you see this thing crashing towards you, you are going to think you are seeing a dinosaur. Just looks ancient. It really does give off a lot of raptor vibes over here. Oh, most definitely. But then again, most of the ratites, to me at least, give the whole dinosaur vibe off. And that is, I think, partly because they also belong to the Paleornithes. I think that's the group that they belong to. The infraorder, I believe, is the correct taxonomic term for that. Along with ostriches, emus, cassowaries, all those things, they are in the Paleornithes, meaning ancient birds. And that's opposed to things like the penguins, which we have over here, somewhere over here, which are part of the Neornithes, which mean modern birds. So, I mean, this looks like a bird, and you see that, you go, okay, well, it's a strange one, but it's a bird. And then you look at the cassowary, and you go, yeah, that's a dinosaur. But then again, considering that birds are technically... Oh, such a cool sound. Birds are technically dinosaurs, then, you know, that's a dinosaur right there. It even gives hisses. Anyway, as I wanted to actually say earlier, this casque, or this helmet, this crest on the head here, very, very useful as a defense mechanism, because very often if they do feel threatened, they will simply lower their head and then charge at whatever is attacking them, which is a relatively good way. Okay, I think there we can see a little bit of sexual dimorphism. Yes. Okay, so this should be the male. And no. What? This is the male? I was sure the females are smaller than the males. Oh, wait a minute. They're polyandrous. That makes sense. I wonder whether they almost released it into the wild. Whether the Zoopedia mentions anything about this. So they are polyandrous. It should be mentioned here. There we go, polyandrous, yes. Do they mention anything about Males and females looking different. That's the question. Seeing a brown casque on the head. Throat, yes. Males and females look similar. Females are significantly larger than males. Oh, wow. You see, okay, so that is very interesting. I'll get back to that in a moment. But first, I see, Hans, you've got, are cassowaries omnivores? Yes. Yes, they are. And I think they are more omnivorous than a lot of your other ratites, as far as I recall. They don't mention it here. I don't think they mention here what they eat. Solitary, polyandrous, no dominant structure. Yeah, they don't say what they're eating. But, yes, they are omnivorous, and more so than other ratites. Other ratites, like ostriches, will occasionally eat invertebrates, insects, and usually meat is, or animal product, or animal food is only really during starvation, or if they really have to. The majority of the time they will go for plant matter, and if you look at ostriches, for example, ostriches will swallow stones to actually grind down the food in their stomachs quite a bit, and that works quite well for grinding down seeds and other plant matter. But the cassowaries, they are omnivorous, so that they will actually go for even snakes, even smallish, medium-sized snakes, they will go for, and they will attack them and kill them. So they are mostly plant-eating, but occasionally they will go for a bit of meat as well. So occasionally they channel their inner orc, and meat is back on the menu. So then, we're tying in with that, the bright blue and red is likely because they also, the fruits that they are going for are blue and red in color. They go for Syzygium, which is, Eugenia, actually, I think is a genus that they go for. In South Africa, we've got the closely related species in the Myrtaceae family, which is in the Syzygium genus, that's called waterberries. And they have got pinkish, reddish fruits. And then they also go for a particular tree with a dark blue, purple berry. And it is theorized, at least, that these bright blue and red colors here look like food to try and tempt partners to actually come for them. Deadly to snakes and amphibians? Oh, most definitely. I mean, with a beak like that and legs like that, if you step on something and you crush it and you cut into it with your talon and you then hit it with your beak, you are definitely going to be able to kill the amphibian or snake quite easily. Such a cool creature. Anyway, as I was thinking earlier, with this being the female, I really thought the males had brighter colors. But tying in with their reproductive strategy, the female having the brighter color makes absolute sense. Because polyandry is when... that's such a cool sound. Oh, there's a reply. Oh, wow. Anyway, polyandry is when one female will have many males. And in the ratites, let me see, kiwis are exceptions, that they are very monogamous, one male, one female. The cassowaries here are polyandrous, so one female, many males. So she will mate with this male, for example. She will lay the eggs in the male's in the nest that the male builds, and then she buggers off somewhere else and mates with another male, lays an egg in that one's nest, goes to another one and another one, another one. And the males are the ones that will raise the chicks that are present. So typical polyandry. Ostriches are polygynous. I think these two are, yeah, there we go, are about to mate. That was a bit of a courtship walk they did there. And there we have got a bit of grooming there. Courtship grooming, it seems. So cool. Okay, so now she is most likely pregnant. Yeah, offspring due in August. So that's about 3 months, 2 months. Oh. And again, some penguins are about to have babies as well. Always with the breeding. Okay. Where are you? The cassowaries. I always get lost. Where is the cassowary enclosure? There we go. Okay. So, as I've mentioned, cassowaries, polyandrous. Ostriches, polygynous, with one male having many females, but they've got a communal nest where all the females will lay their eggs with the male, and then both the male and the females will incubate the nest. So that's quite an interesting arrangement there. I think most of the species are actually polygamous. And in most cases, the females incubate the eggs. But the cassowaries here are a bit of an exception in that only the male will incubate and raise the chicks. The females will not take part in the any part of the breeding apart from actually, mating and laying the egg. And I just realized these poor little guys have got nothing to eat. So we are going to have to put in here something for the cassowaries. Southern cassowary. Oh, all the way down. Shame, these poor creatures. Food bowl. We're going to put a nice big food bowl right over there. And then as enrichment, we're going to put a forage box right over there. Right. That should be good. As a toy... Oh man, I really want to see them play with this. I just imagine them hopping around and jumping and trying to kick this thing to play with it. Oh, that's a hiss and a half. Hello, how are you feeling now? Are you alright in terms of enrichment? Yeah, that's 100%. Habitat-wise, what's wrong with the habitat? Nothing. Just hard shelter that you would need. Ah, that's alright. You'll get hard shelter. Oh, there we go, running! Oh, wow! Hello. Why are you running? What are you doing? Oh, man. I would not imagine the game here getting the sound that right. Okay, so how are you going to play with this? Let's have a look. Because they should be checking out their reflections and then attacking them. But, okay, apparently not playing with it. Ah, that sucks. How's your stress level? Okay, enrichment, fine. Oh, the cassowary is about to have offspring. Overview. Oh, that's not the offspring, but anyway. Offspring imminent. I want to see what their babies look like in-game. Because with the ratites, most often their babies have got quite a lot of stripes on them to break up their outline so that they are not easily spotted. And I believe the cassowary would be no exception there. It would most likely have some variation of black with white spots and stripes present there. There's still offspring imminent, okay. Stress, no stress, okay. Actually quite happy, well that's good. Not stressed. Come on, give us babies. We demand babies. Okay, why are you chasing the male? Same. Yeah. This poor male is definitely being hit by the short end of... he's got the short end of the stick there. Well, in Dinkum, their eyes go red when they see you, although they already do have reddish eyes. In Dinkum, their eyes go even more red when they see you and start chasing you around. So, yeah, there is that. And I suspect we're going to get babies now, everybody. Oh, look at that! Oh! Oh, my word. That's a baby dinosaur. With 2 backsides. Oh. Oh. It's triplets! We've got triplets! Oh, of course, the baby's not born with a head crest. Makes sense that they are still juveniles, so they wouldn't have head crests. And the yellowish color along with the black stripes. The idea with this is a form of disruptive, well, perhaps disruptive camouflage. The lines over here are supposed to break up the outline, so that you don't spot the shape of the baby as easily. And because they are not as well defended as the parents, they need to actually be camouflaged. Although, of course, they do have the father, which is somewhere over here. Here we go. Here's the father. Oh, he's actually walking around with the babies. Of course, we do have our father over here. Hello. Ah, you're endangered, little one. little person, you are definitely in danger. Anyway, the father over here is walking around with the baby, so of course they are quite safe. But with a keeper that has just put the food down there, what I wanted to mention earlier, but I forgot, is that most of the attacks on humans are when humans try to feed cassowaries. You know, they just get used to the danger of being fed, and they get used to food, and then if they don't get food from you when they want food, they will attack you. Same with baboons, and same with any other animal that gets used to humans feeding them. If they then don't get their food, they are very upset, and they will attack you, and then you die or could die. So how long to mature? Well, if they are similar to ostriches, the red pandas are also going to be breeding again. We're going to have some more red panda babies. That's going to be cute. But if they are similar to ostriches incubate for about 2 months. Yeah, I think about 2 months. Then the chicks will be adults, I think fully grown in about 3 years. Oh, look at that. Jump and a run. Oh, man, that's cute. Haha. I see Nick is playing Dinkum.
That's what has inspired me.
The weary moo have inspired you. But I think they would be about 3 years to maturity. Let's have a look here and see. Age of sexual maturity, 3 years. There we go. Yeah. And they can live to be about 40 years. Oh my word. That's astonishing. Interbirth period, 2 years. So 2 years between reproductive attempts. Well, in theory, but with them being polyandrous, they will have... the males will have... Every 2 years they will be able to breed. The females will be able to breed far more regularly than the males. I think we are being inspected again. Hello there, Inspector. You are leaving the zoo, you say. Okay. Hope you're happy. We do need to get some bins over here, though. And some other attractions, because people are not looking at the cassowaries yet. Okay, well, it's because there's nothing in between here. Okay, so Ananya is about to pass away. Unfortunately, with things like peafowl, we are not going to... we're not going to put up a whole bunch of plaques for all the peafowl that are dying. Unfortunately. Yeah, I get very angry. You can ask Nick. She will testify the fact that if I don't get food relatively regularly, I get very upset with life. And then everybody must just beware. So she makes sure that I am usually well fed.
I'm worse.
You think you're worse? I don't know. I think I'm definitely the worst of the two of us. I think so. I got that from my dad. My dad can also be quite angry, and I remember a few years ago when my dad and I went on a tour together, my mother told me to just make sure that my dad doesn't get hangry or that he always has something to eat, and she told my father, make sure that Will always has something to eat. So yeah, she basically just told each of us to make sure that the other one eats. Right. So I think in this little enclosure here, we really should be having some kind of smaller animal. And there is something that I've been leaning to, and it is the European badger. And I'm wondering what size area they need. 360, okay, with about 400 meters squared. That could work here. I think we could have that here. I think we should have a little badger enclosure. I love badgers. Never seen the European badger. Would love to see one day. Of course, there are so many creatures that I would really love to see one day that, I have to travel all over the world in order to see them. But one day, perhaps. We are going to go, for this one, we are going to go with normal old concrete. We don't want it being extremely invasive. And I think, not the null one, I think the red bricks will be a little bit too invasive. And it needs to be 1 meter tall, so we're going to be doing that. And we're just going to let it go under the pathway over here, because that is going to be a very nice hard shelter for them. Okay, we need to get this over here, I think. And we need to get this. I think this actually works quite well. If we can get it down to 1 meter, this would work. Yeah, it can go over here. Yeah, we will just have it like that. Okay. This one all the way over to this section over here. We will just have down to 1 meter. There. And now we are going to have a little badger exhibit here. How big is this? Should be alright. Yeah, that's 432 meters squared. Okay, that's going to be great. Habitat, we're going to go for everything with the European badger. Right, European badger. Right, before I actually do that, I want to quickly check up on my research. The vet research, because I think quite a few vets have finished their research completely on all of these creatures. So we can reassign them to some of the creatures that I haven't researched. I have not researched Indian peafowl? No. Ridiculous. Okay, let's get the cassowary being researched as well, so that we can put in some better enrichment for all these little creatures. Yeah, that is what we are going to be doing. Right. Badger. What do the badgers want? Okay, so they're obviously from Europe and southern, well, the Middle East over there. Actually, didn't know they actually went that far east. Interesting. Nonetheless, we are going to go for taiga, temperate, and grassland. Yeah, that's good. They don't need water, but we're going to be giving them a little pool in any case. Question is, can water hold them? I don't think water can hold them. We can have quite a few individuals. That's going to be great. Okay. So, let us... what's the temperature range? That's what I also want to double check. -7 up to 38. Well, we're going to heat up this area. We are going to make it a little bit better. More tolerable. Perhaps not as hot as the other areas. Going to put it down to, I think, 16 degrees Celsius. That's going to be a nice mild temperature for them. Nice little 16 degrees down there. Okay, great stuff. Thanks so much, Hans. Glad to have had you around. Have a great day further, and enjoy the weekend further. We'll see you again next week, I hope. All going well, and we'll see soon. I'll hopefully finish with the zoo that we've got here, do a little zoo tour, and then we'll see. Perhaps then we'll get to a dinkum stream as well. But have a wonderful weekend further, hey, and thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. Okay, so let us make these little burrows, and the idea is that we're going to let it look as though these burrows are emerging from between rocks. That is what we are going to go for. We're also going to just put down some bedding over here if they decided that they wanted to actually come and sleep under the walkway over here. They can do that. So we'll see whether we can make that look nice in a bit. Right, let us just get food and water, because I know I'm going to forget to actually give them some food again. We're just going to... No, we don't want that there. We want it, I think, a little bit more to this side, because we're going to get rocks on this side, or have rocks on that side. And we are going to some enrichment. We'll put the blood scent marker over here. That's going to get them to come to this side. And we're going to go with a dog ball over here as something to play with. A skittle feeder, oh my word. Right, I think that is all we need in terms of that. Now, we just need to let it look nice. We're going to go with these ones, move it all away. Going to go with continent Europe. It's going to be one of the few times that I've actually, that I'm making something in from Europe, actually. I love the European badges, though. Really going to have to put up a little TV here with the burrow cam again. Grassland, temperate, and taiga. Okay, anything grassland, temperate, and taiga. So, biome, taiga, temperate, grassland. Right, those three. Alright, so let's have a look. Let's go rocks first, right? Gonna go almost matching the coloration there. Temperate. Almost. We are going to go big rock. I think over here. Yes. Let this big rock go over there. Get a smaller little section over here. And then get some more rocks to actually fit around the burrow over here. Great. Another little rock. This one's just going to extend out. This between the burrows. Oh, the crane's about to have some more babies. Oh my word, those little cranes are going crazy. If I see this rock, I always imagine the badgers being able to bask on it. So we're going to have this rock jut out more to this side, perhaps just a little bit down, so that the badgers can climb onto it more easily. And then we are actually going to tempt them onto it with a blood scent marker. Going to get that onto the rock over here, and hopefully they are going to go for that as well. Actually going to pause a little bit here while we have daylight so that we can work before it gets dark again, because yeah, it's about to get dark again here. Okay, let's have a look here. Well, if you are watching this at some point and you are a new subscriber, I must also I just want to say thank you for joining the channel, and thank you to everybody who has joined the channel, because oh my word, the past while it seems that the channel has expanded quite a bit, and I am very, very excited about that. In the past month, I think we've gone up from 500 to almost 600 subs. And I'm pretty sure, looking back in the future, that is going to sound quite small, but I am really, really excited about what is happening on the channel and the growth that we are observing. And it's so nice that people want to learn more about nature. And that is why I'm here. So if you have any questions at any point about nature and you want to know why things are the way they are in nature, you know where to come. And I will happily try and delve into all these weird intricacies of nature with you. Right. Now, let us carry on here with the rocks. Let's get this to look quite nice, or relatively nice. I think that's actually quite alright. We just need a few smaller rocks scattered around a little bit. Almost look like the hill that is here has been fractured, broken apart by fire and ice, all kinds of things, because if a lot of rocks will be quite stable, but at the moment they experience things like fire and then shortly thereafter cold conditions, or cold conditions and then fire, they will split open and burst, and especially granite, I believe, tends to do that quite frequently, or quite a bit more than some of the other rocks. Let's have a look. Do I have any small rocks here? Not really. I think this is just the last one we're going to put down, and then we're going to just put some vegetation in here. Gardening, sunflower. What does this look like? This will be quite a nice little flower to put right over here. Not perhaps not there. Perhaps here by the burrow. There we go. Going to look quite nice. Perhaps it also grows around the side of the burrow over here. Places around like that. Okay. I'm liking this. That's going to look quite nice. I can see it developing. Nettles. Nah, not going to put in nettles now. Lady fern, I would suspect they would grow somewhere along the rocks here, perhaps. Just going to put up some more along here. Let's just let it actually grow a little bit taller. Twist it around a little bit like that. And then we're also just going to hide it a little bit with the foliage like that. Yeah, that's going to work. That's going to be great. And then a bit of splash of color. Because why not? Arrowroot. Oh, goldenrod, not arrowroot. Sorry, goldenrod. We've got over here. Be nice. Right over there. A little bit over here. Grows all over the place. Right. Alpine sea holly. I'm not a big fan. It doesn't have a lot of foliage. I mean, this flowers are beautiful, but yeah, unless you put it amongst other things, it doesn't look as great as I would have hoped it would. But anyway, that's just my tastes. Let's put some alpine. What is this? Alpine holly? That's the alpine sea holly. These ones are alpine currant. There we go. We'll just put this here. Hide the heater that is at the back here. A little bit like that. And let's look at some trees. Aleppo pine. Yeah, maybe. A conifer forest could work. I mean, these guys, the badgers, do run around the conifer forest quite a bit. But I'm wondering whether we don't have a better tree to go for. Poplars. Not really poplars. I'm not that big fan of it. Common ash. Maybe there should be an ash tree growing over here. Gives a bit of height. Vertical definition to the enclosure here. A bit of shade. A bit of something that's indigenous to this area. And I think these little badgers should have a little bit of a pool over there. So just before I forget that I wanted to do that, we are just going to reduce the size over here, or lower it, smooth it out a little bit, and then we're just going to put a little bit of water in here. Just a little puddle. Because if nothing else, at least there will be a little bit of water there. And we'll have a beech sapling just chilling around over there. Nice little dense one there, right over there. Okay. Black poplar. Such a big tree. I don't want as big. I love the blackthorn bush though. That's going to be a nice little color in there as well. Not overwhelming color, but something. A little bit of color at least. And I think let's put in a black poplar. Nice little tree there as well. Because these guys, the badgers, are from wooded areas or woodlands. So there should be some trees. I don't want a big one in here because then people aren't going to see through past it. Blackthorn bush, same problem. We can have this little thing growing like this. A little hidey place for them. That could work. And a little bit over here as well. Hiding the fence just a little bit. So that it's not as prominent that this is in fact an enclosure. And just again to add a dash of color, we're going to have rhododendron or azaleas here as well. And we're going to have a little azalea bush growing over there. Going to have a few daisies, a few asters, asteraceae growing here as well. Just to lean in, or just to fill this gap over here. Like that. And just another little, I think a small azalea would do like that. A little taller, shorter. There we go. That will look quite nice. Okay, great stuff. Okay, let's have a look here. What else can we put in? I think I need at least one more tree. Now I said I didn't really want the Aleppo pine, but depending on the size. This one's got a nice thin trunk. This could provide a bit of shade without being too imposing. This could work. Okay, that could work, that could work. I can work with that at least. Gonna have some dwarf cornels here, just hiding the rocks a little bit. I know it sounds weird to put in rocks and then to hide them, but you don't randomly find rocks just lying out in the open as often as you would think in nature. It's usually overgrown a little bit. That's what we are going for here, after all. And as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, what could have been cool? To actually have like an English cottage built in this enclosure, which would be their little house. And then to have like a cottage-like garden and imagine that it's actually been overgrown. And you have these little guys living here now. And why didn't I think of that earlier? Oh well, that's alright. Next time when I have European honey badgers. Oh, European badgers, not honey badgers. European badgers, that is what I'm going to be doing. Okay, that looks alright. Okay. You know what? I think we can work with this. Now, just to make it look better, because currently it is just grass, we are going to go for a bit of rocks, a rocky texture here. Here where there would be rocks present. Oh, a little bit difficult sometimes to paint with all the foliage. Should have actually done this a little bit earlier, but oh well. And then we're going to just go with a little bit of light soil, or everywhere where I've got trees. Technically the soil here mimics the leaves as well, quite nicely. The humus layer forming under the trees. We're going to put some heavy soil down there as well. Nice. A little bit over here perhaps. There we go. Coming along nicely here. Like that. And then just a hint of sand all along here. And perhaps just a bit more soil that's accumulated down in this little pool that we've got here. Okay. Well now, I think that is quite alright. So, let's get some badges, shall we? Let's get some badges. Animal trading. Badger. It's still sad for me that we don't have honey badgers in this game, but one day perhaps. We're just going to go with cash listings because we do not have a lot of conservation credits, I'm afraid. Right, refresh the list. Rusty, oh, Rusty is horrible. Matas could be alright. Between Harry and Matas, I think let's go with Harry. Okay, yes, Harry is there, and we're going to go with Matilde because we have no other options. Yeah, no other females that are present. Okay, that's all right. Let us are underpriced. That's all right. They can think the tickets are underpriced. It's when they start thinking the tickets are overpriced that I am not going to be happy. Or that I'm going to have to quickly do something about it. There we go. 2 little European badges. Sent to the zoo. We're just going to bring them into quarantine. Just to make sure that they are not diseased. Come on. Delivery schedule. There we go. Okay, the zoo is getting quite big now. And as a result, our frame rate may be dropping a little bit. And it's also taking a little bit long to do things. Or to register that I'm clicking. Okay, so what we have a whole bunch of penguins. Hello, penlings. Oh my word. This colony is breeding like it's going out of fashion. How many have we got? We have 14 penguins. I think we started with 5 or 6. So quite a lot of penguins. We have released 1 into the wild. Hello, yes. Yes, you weird penguin. Are you going to be playing with the mobile here? Looks like it. No, you're just staring at it blankly. Vacant eyes. Hello there. Quite a cool sound though. Still though, the cassowaries are definitely my favorite in terms of the sound that they make. Speaking of which. Oh, sound that they're making. And the babies are still here. Still babies. Oh. That is the cutest little baby. I mean, who would... You can't imagine the dangerous cassowary over there having such an adorable little baby. Oh my soul. They're so cute. Anyway, right. I do believe our platypus have matured. So we should have some adults here. Oh, wow. Yo. Outsider, infertile. Oh. Shame. Okay, so the male is now infertile. Let's see. Minjara, what can we do? We can rehome you. Okay, so this is now an old platypus. The old male, we are going to rehome him. He is going to go to not a farm upstate. He is going to go to a nice zoo where they can take care of him and make sure that he is comfortable in his last few years. Then, additionally, what we also have here, we have 3 females. Kira, we can release Kira into the wild. She is actually quite old. We're going to release her. Yes. And then it's between Mirren and Munanjara. We're going to take this male, though. We are going to release him into the wild for some conservation credits. We don't want him breeding with our females. I don't know why I didn't get rid of this or, take him elsewhere earlier. But anyway, we've got Mirren and we've got Muranjara. Mirren, in terms of genetics, oh, her fertility rate is horrible. Yeah, that's quite bad. Mirren, you're being released to the wild. Unfortunately, not going to be breeding at all. But at least you're going to be out in the wild. And now I'm really hoping that Munanjara has at least better genetics. And, well, great fertility, horrible immunity. Oh my word. Okay, let's go have a look whether I've got any platypus in holding. No, I do not. So let's go and just quickly get platypus. See if we can get a male. Oh, that's a really average one. Oh my word, I should have kept the male. Anyway, okay. Let's go. Size isn't that big a deal. We're going to adopt him. And we are going to send him to the quarantine zone over here. Right over there. Go there. Go into quarantine. And then when you have been cleared, you can go in with a female. Okay, to Munanjara. Oh! Interesting. The, oh, when did these okapi fight? Oh, wow. Femi, the baby that we had earlier, has already become an adult. Okay. Off you go, Femi. Okay, right. I saw that... Wait, are you having more babies? Oh my word, more baby caimans coming. This is going to be interesting. Okay, these babies are still babies. Okay, they're not overcrowded yet. Let's have a look here. What do you look like, little one? Oh, wow, you are cute. Such a cute little guy. Becoming a little bit larger, I would expect that within the next year or so, this little guy would be have to be moved out. Although they only mature, I think, after about 5 or 6 years. So this one still has quite a long way to go. Zoopedia-wise, they say maturation 10 years. Okay. Okay, so even longer than I initially thought. Interesting. Okay, right. Let us carry on. These cassowaries, they are quite happy. We need an attraction to the side, but we're going to get the badgers over here. Aha, speaking of which... both of them have passed quarantine, so both of them are going in here. Now, with that, we're going to need more staff, because we need some more keepers to look after these areas. Oh, research complete. Okay, thank you. Thank you for telling me about that. Staff, that's what I'm after. Going to take more caretakers. We are going to need more keepers. I'm going to plop them all down here. Let them drop from the sky. Who says, you know, the workforce can't just appear from the sky? We're obviously going to need some security to patrol this area as well. Just because. A veterinarian. Just because we now have more and more animals. And apparently our veterinarians are overworked as well. And we're going to need more mechanics as well. There are far more enclosures now to, well, to make sure that they don't fall apart. Okay. Let's have a look here. There we go. Whee! Running up and over, up and down the ramp. Then we'll see how they are feeling. The badgers, at least. Are you stuck? Yeah, you're stuck there amongst all the people that are here. Oh, we need more bins here as well. Okay, but we're first going to check. Babusi meerkat is also again going to die of old age. I'm going to stop putting up memorial plaques for Babusi and the rest of the meerkats. Unless it is one of the ones that I am really attached to. Like more than usual. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, you need more individuals, right? Oh. You need fewer individuals because the area is too small. What? How can this be? 432 square meters. Maybe there isn't enough accessible area. I know there is a way to check this. Let's have a look. Environment. Animals. Where on earth do we now check where the accessible area is? Maybe by clicking on here. Oh, I think it's with the heat maps. Yeah, it's with the heat maps, I think. Habitat. Oh, the traversable area is too small. So, why can't they walk on the rocks here? Is it because they don't climb rocks? Ah. Okay, which means we're going to need to make the enclosure bigger. Make the circle bigger. Okay, we're going to, in that case then, make it bigger. Somehow. Going to make this bigger. Okay, let's get this over here. Let's get this one over. No, not over there. Over there. Okay. Okay, how's your space now, little ones? It's going to be like a barren meadow over there, but anyway. Come on. Okay, so that's included. That's included. The rocks here cannot be climbed. That is very interesting, which means the burrows can't be accessed. Let's see here. Terrain, hard shelter is fine. Okay. Navigable land area is too little. That means we're going to move this rock back over there. And perhaps just twist it so it looks something along those lines, like that. So that it goes and lies in the water like that. That could work. Okay. That should now increase the navigable area. Terrain, almost there. Almost big enough. Okay, we will address that later. For now, these two are just going to have to be slightly happy. In terms of the terrain, soil, everything there is perfectly fine. It's just that they need a little bit more land space. Okay. That we will look at next time. Okay. Let's have a look here. Right. So we've had Cuvier's dwarf caiman being put in. They are carrying on. And they can actually occur in very high densities. So I'm quite surprised that in this game, you can only have 2 in an enclosure. Otherwise they get unhappy. But the small ones, thankfully, do not count as adults. So as they don't count towards that social group there. So we still only have 1 male and 1 female in this enclosure, or adult male and adult female in this enclosure. So they're not too many, thankfully. But the babies, oh my word, we've got quite a few in here, don't we? Let's have a look. How many have we got? 6. We've got 6 Cuvier's dwarf caiman, and there are more on the way. Okay. Speaking of caimans and crocodiles and stuff, let's have a look here. How are our gharials doing? Animals. Yeah, this one is still on contraceptives because Adya keeps on trying to breed with her siblings. We don't want that, so she is on contraceptives. And 28 gharials. What on earth? 28 gharials. That's a lot. Okay. Let us quickly get the keeper to bring more food because they need some food. Now, thankfully, crocodilians are able to survive quite long without food. And if food is in short supply, they can basically go quite a few months. Many species like the Nile crocodile can go quite a few months without eating anything. And they are perfectly adapted to that. They simply go into a state of torpor. And torpor being when they slow down their metabolism, very similar to hibernation and estivation, in which that's basically as an example of torpor, where the heart rate slows down, everything slows down, the metabolism of the organism also slows down, and then therefore they've got a slow metabolism, they don't need as much food, and then as a result they can survive quite long periods of time without eating anything. Let's just check here. This young one here is 0.7 years old. What age is maturation? It's 0.7 at the moment, 1.5. Okay, so halfway to adulthood. Okay, ooh, there we go. That's going to be cool. Right. Okay. Right. Now, what to do? I'm thinking that we could try to put in another exhibit, or we can perhaps actually call it a night. We've got badgers that we now have in our enclosure. We've got cassowaries, which are breeding and carrying on and calling in our exhibit over here. And then we also have the okapi constantly breeding. I suspect the female is already pregnant again. No, Abeki is not having a baby at the moment, thankfully. Then we've got our Cuvier's dwarf caimans, which are just going crazy right over here. We will still put in a few more plants in this area later on. This platypus has matured, or has passed quarantine, so let's put it in here with the other platypus, and then we'll have another male and female there again. Okay, perfect. But I do think that is actually where I am going to be calling it a night, everybody. So, thank you very much for tuning in. It's a bit shorter than I initially anticipated, but, you know, we have accomplished quite a bit. We've talked quite a bit about these weird and wonderful cassowaries and about the caimans that we have right over here. We'll talk a bit more about them as we go along as well. I think I'll be getting ready to build a little bit of a reception or shopping area over here. Oh my word, the cranes are also just having babies like it's going out of fashion. Right, how many have we got in this enclosure? I think almost too many. We have... Okay, we've only got 5. Okay, that's still alright. Don't have... No, that's perfect social group. Okay, we don't need fewer than that. That's good. But yeah, I do think that is actually where I will be calling it a day. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining me during our live stream over here. I'm sorry that I'm not carrying on a little bit longer, but I think I have accomplished what I wanted to, or I set out to do today. And it has been quite a cold and, yeah, it's been quite a cold and busy weekend, and still going to be busier again. So happy Mother's Day to everybody. Remember that tomorrow is Mother's Day, and remember to treat your mothers to something special tomorrow. Of course, you should treat your mothers to something special every day, but tomorrow particularly. And until next time then, everybody, stay safe. No, we'll see you all soon. Have a wonderful day and weekend further. Cheers.